And we are live. We are live. Hmm. This is a wide camera. Hello, 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 YouTube. Hello, Instagram. Hmm. Hello, hello, hello. Marjorie Barracks here. Those of you who want to join me, yes, I am live here on YouTube and on Instagram, Facebook. There's a link to link up with YouTube. Good evening, good night, good afternoon, good morning. Hello, hello out there in YouTube land and Instagram land. I am going to get going. So, Jesus, we just thank you for this time, for this day, for this opportunity to share and to have conversation, meaningful conversations, and to encourage each other. We ask that you would bless this time together. Amen. Okay. First thing I want to do, I want to thank all my followers on Instagram and on YouTube and on Facebook. Um, Thank you so much for the follow, for the comments, for the likes. I'm so appreciative of you. Without you, this doesn't work, right? So I want to stop here at the beginning of this live and say how much I appreciate you. Just liking, sharing, commenting. and all of that. Following, oh my goodness, all my new followers on Instagram this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Um, and I want to shout out to all the mamas out there that are holding it down with this whole school situation. You're doing it. You got this. You can do it. You are doing it. Go on. Do your thing. Do your thing. Um, so tonight, I won't be here long, but I wanted to share something with you, my viewers and subscribers, and all you wonderful people out here in social media land. Um, it is so important to sometimes just look back a little bit. I know, don't keep going and looking back, but stop, reflect, and look at your old notes. So we just moved here a little over a year ago, going into my second year of moving here. And in moving, when you're moving, you realize how much stuff you have, right? Stuff. Lots and lots of stuff. Boxes and boxes of stuff. And so this week I wanted to get some of my books out of storage. And so in that I found this blue folder. And so I said, let me see what's in this. Because, it just looks like a whole bunch of papers. And in this folder, I had a whole bunch of things. And this is dated back to, I'll tell you, I think it's 98 or 99. 99. 1999, September. And these are some oh my, I could laugh now or I could cry, because that's when I felt the call and I wanted to do so much for women and I wanted to gather women, and I felt that was what God was calling me to do, was to gather the women. And so I was trying to figure out, because I'd been involved in women's ministry in my church then, Crossroads Cathedral. I wanted to, now that I was stepping out into ministry, I wanted to do some kind of an event, a little retreat or something like that. Because prior to that, I think it was 98, we had an awesome retreat in Fair Havens. And it was fire. Okay, it was fire. um the women were touched, women were healed emotionally, spiritually, physically. So much so women didn't even want to break to go and have lunch. That's how it was. And it was amazing. It's the year that I did a drama presentation of the song Woman Thou Art Loosed. And if anybody here ever heard that song, Woman Thou Art Loosed, it's just an amazing song by Cheryl Brady and Vicky Winans, under the direction of Bishop Jakes. And I tell you, it was amazing. And then that was the spring. And then right after that, I was asked to present it on Mother's Day by, Pastor David at the time. Like I said last week, Pastor David that just passed away. So in that, I got to present that same dramatic presentation of Woman Thou Art Loosed. And I directed, I mean, it was a song, right? But I directed it. I had my directors. I directed a drama presentation, and who knew, right? And so, in looking back, then that was a wonderful year. I tell you, it was awesome. It was an awesome year. And so I'm looking at this, and it's saying, This is a fax from the residence concierge um, from Seneca College, and I was inquiring because now there was some stuff going on, and I wanted to do something. So I wanted to find out how I could find a place to have a retreat. Little old me, right? And I think in looking back now, and I see why it didn't happen, right? I see why it didn't happen. It didn't have anything to do with anybody not wanting it to happen or whatever. It just wasn't the time, right? The time. And it's interesting because this is they're telling me this is how much it's gonna cost, and this is the food and all of that, and awesome, and when I went past that text, I think there was two texts from two different places. I came upon um a few things. I came upon my presentation. um I was going to make this presentation on purpose, and wow, it was so wordy. Had like two, was on the book of Ruth, and it had like 2 pages. It was 2 pages long, lots and lots and lots, you know. And I had this whole note to myself, right, about I was going to talk to revival time at the time, and I was going to talk to another ministry, and all the flyers, who was going to make the flyers, and what was going to be the name on the flyers, and we're going to meet with the pastor and share the vision, and we're talking about music and tracks and what. I was in it. I was all up in it, getting ready for a retreat. And all the songs, that we're talking about bringing women together and encouraging women to support each other. And one of the songs that came up was Inside Everything Changed, right? And there was back then there was a CD out, and it was called Sisters. And this CD had all the greats, the Bobby Mason, the Cece Winans, the Yolanda Adams, the Tata Vega. All some of you don't know who I'm talking about. Go look them up. You're gonna be just amazed at these awesome women that love Jesus and love to sing, and they came together and they sang that song. They put the CD together. I think it was Gloria Gaither was involved. A lot of women in the gospel and inspirational music kind of thing. And it was very interesting because you know the song Sister, it says, I've never walked a mile in your shoes, tasted the tears you cry, I've never felt the deepest longings you have inside. And it talks about, but then you are my sister in the Lord, our faith in common, sisters in the Lord. No matter how the world defines us, nothing can change us, nothing can divide us, right? Because we are sisters. And that song was like an anthem of that era. I'm telling you, it was the song of that era. And woman, thou art loose, um don't hide the scars, you know um don't hide the scars in the middle of the turbulence surrounding you, these troubling times that are so hard to endure. In the middle of what seems to be your darkest night, hold fast and be assured this too shall pass, like every night that comes before it, right? um I did rewind. That song was This Too Shall Pass. Don't hide the scars is another one about don't be afraid to share your story. And now we see everybody sharing their story, right? And this is awesome because that song was kind of like it was a springboard at one retreat we had, where I went up to read the words of this song, shared a little bit of my testimony, and it was like, right after me somebody came up, and right after her somebody came up, and women began to share. So this sharing your story, and you have a story, this is not new for me. Like, this has been going on for a while, right? And here's the thing though, guys. I'm going into my notes, and I used to make a lot of notes. I realized I used to write a lot. I used to write a lot of stuff, you know. And so here's the woman thou art loose, traumatized. Oh God, I thank you. And it was well received, and women enjoyed it. You know, it was awesome. You know, um, but I realized that somewhere along the way, I need to go back to my writing. I really need to go back and write more of my notes, right? As whether you're in a time of prayer, a lot of things came out of prayer, you know, and that's something that I struggle with today, because I know I used to be able to just get on in there, and I just find it, in the last couple of years, it's just been like, mm, it's like going uphill, but God is faithful, and He says, you know, call unto me, and I will answer you, and I will show you great and marvelous things which you don't know yet, right? And I just want to encourage you. Um, like I said, I wasn't going to be here long, but I just wanted to leave some encouragement with you in the box as well. Look at this, guys. Look at that. These are woman to woman CDs. Woman to woman conversation. Oh, part one, part two, part three, part four. This is amazing. The friendships of women. Um, what's this one? The friendships of women again. Um, lots of lots of stuff here, ladies. Lots of stuff, you know. And I just want to leave some encouragement with you, and just to let you know that, like, even though it's been years since I've seen those notes, and reminiscing of where I was at the time, mentally, spiritually, physically, um, you know, it's amazing when you look back, in this context, right? I don't look back in regret, right? I look back and say to myself, listen, girl, get it together, because you can do this. And I guess that's what I wanted to say to you, is how important it is. Get it together. You can do this. How do you get it together? Um, one way to start is just by a simple prayer. It's just asking God to help you. Um, it seems simple, and it cannot be that simple, right? Some would say, but it is that simple. It is that simple in saying, you know what? God, I need your help. Lord, I need your help. I need some direction. I need that passion again. Holy Spirit, stir up that passion within me again, to pray, to read your word, to study, right? To study. I used to be able to just sit there for hours, and just look things up in the dictionary and the concordance, and find the root word of this and that, and just, and so it is doable, but it takes time, right? And we have time with all this COVID lockdown thing and all of that. We have time, right? And we can do this. I can do this. So can you. I wanted to find that scripture, verse 3. Jeremiah 33 and verse 3. It says, call to me, and I will answer you and tell you great and unsearchable things you do not know. Right? And so, it's that simple. He said he would help us, he said he would show us. And so God is not one that would lie, right? And so God keeps his word. And sometimes it seems to us in our finite mind that he's not keeping his word, he's not doing what he said he's going to do. But are you doing? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? What I promised that I would do, what I said I would do? Am I keeping my word? Right? It's not that he's not keeping his word. I have to keep the promise I made, the when I said I was going to do it, right? It means that now I have to walk it out. It means that I have to walk to catch up with God, so to speak, right? I really think so, because he's already done it, so to speak. It's done, right? So I have to take the steps, right? One step after the other, one difficult step after the other, one, you know, frustrating step after the other, one sometimes you have a little bit of doubt, where's but keep taking that step, one step in front of the other, until you get there. Because a lot of times we don't know, right? Like I said last week, the woman with the alabaster box did not know exactly. She knew what she wanted to do, but she didn't know that God was going to use it. She did not know that God was going to meet her there, right? She knew she was going to go there and she's going to, anoint, she was going to pour the thing on Jesus, and she was going to wipe his feet, and that she was going to wash his feet and all that. He knew that's what she wanted to do, right? As gratitude to him. But she did not know that God was going to meet her there and turned it into something greater, right? And I guess that's the point I want to make. Sometimes, like in some of these cases, I gave up too quickly, you know and that sometimes speaks of immaturity. I was not mature. I did not have the support, the spiritual support. Like, you have like a mentor, or someone that that could come alongside you and say to you, hey, what do you need? Or if I could share it with them, and they would say, well, look at this, you need to do this and this and this. uh, you know there wasn't that. So I was like this little, I was spiritually, I was a kid. That's how I look at it. I felt like I was this is what I used to say about, I was a latchkey kid. I was a spiritual latchkey kid. What do I mean by that? I used to, I search the word, I read the word, I go to retreats, I go to conferences, I I I have revelation, I have understanding, I have a key. But should I even have that key, right? By myself. It's like when you leave your kid, to you give them a key, and you tell them, to go home after school and use this key to go in, and they do that, right? But then they do other things. But they didn't know, because they didn't have guidance, right? And so I feel like, sometimes we need guidance, we need encouragement. And that's why I do this. It's just to, most of what I will say here is just to encourage somebody, while I'm encouraging myself, while I'm building myself up. I'm building you as well, because I'm saying to you, you can do this. Whatever you are called to do, however, it might seem, oh my God, overwhelming. It might seem like too much. It might seem like, oh, not me. Because that's how I felt when I started. It was like, oh no, not me. I'm not a pastor. I'm not a pastor's wife. I'm not a deaconess. I'm not a this. No, you're not. You are who you are. You are Marjorie. Hello, Lovemore. You are Marjorie, you are Lovemore, you are Bobby, you are Jennifer. And God wants that authentic you. All these titles that we use in churches, and I mean, some of them, they're fine, but that's not your calling. Your calling is what God has placed inside of you. If He has called you to be a minister, then you go minister. If He calls you to be a teacher, go teach. If He calls you to be an encourager, go encourage, right? So it's not about, titles. As a lot of times we need, as I always say, Jesus didn't have a title. His name shall be called Jesus, right? His name will be called John. It's Peter, right? So all the greats, Abraham, right? So we jostle or whatever for titles, and then the titles, God doesn't have titles for us. He's right. We are His children. Look at what David said. Where is sheep? Sheep and the pastors, right? And so we are His beloved. We are the apple of His eye. But all of that, we are who He's made us to be. And if we can take the one step at a time towards Him in that, because I feel like for years I waited for this to happen, and I waited for that to happen, and I waited for them to come, and I waited, and I wear myself thin. I wore myself out trying to get people to come join me. And the thing with that is, whether they, and if they came was great. If they didn't come, I would be like, okay, nobody's coming, nobody came, oh my God, you know the world is coming to an end. you know but let me just say, you know what, I'm joking here, but seriously, it's really to be committed and take that commitment serious. Years ago, I heard Les Brown say this: keep your commitment to your commitment. You made a commitment, keep that commitment, right? Do your utmost best to keep that commitment, right? Because somebody out there needs it. It may not be who you think. Because, like, for me, I look in a certain direction, a certain demographic, and a certain area, and lots of disappointment, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of disappointment. Lots, lots of disappointment. But you know what? I'm encouraged today because I made, as I said, going into 2022, I wanted to be different. And how did that come across? How did that come up? I was in the bathroom and I passed by the mirror and I saw my mother, because people used to say I look like my mother, but I had no idea I looked like my mother until my mother passed. And then the more I grow, the more mature with the gray hairs I get, the more I'm just saying, yeah, that's the truth. That's my mother. I'm looking at my mother right now, you know. And so when I saw that, but then I the reason why I said that is because I think of my mom, and she was quiet and she held things in, and she didn't talk much and all this kind of stuff. I'm not like my mother in that case, because I talk a lot. Anyway, they used to tell me that as a little girl, you chat too much, don't talk so much. And that's what I'm supposed to be using now. So that's, yeah. I caught up. I did kind of lost it, because that was kind of buried. When they say stop talking so much, you kind of bury it, so you don't talk. But now, as you grow older and you get more mature, then you realize that that is what God is going to use, and that is what He is using, is my mouth, right? But my mom was quiet, and things that I won't share here, but I just feel like I want, the look is okay. I mean, she was pretty, okay, and all of that. But I said, I don't want to carry that thing that I don't share what's bothering me, or I don't share what has hurt me, or just to not in a way that how do I put it? Share it with the one that I need to share it with, right? Not share it with Jane when it's Sue that offended me. But maybe Sue didn't mean to offend me, but I hold it in. And then I go and I tell Mary, and I'm saying, Sue, da 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 da. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to do this, not hold it in until I die, because it probably would take me out of here, right? Once we're holding in all these things, it. I think a lot of times I think about my mom, and when she moved back to Jamaica, and I feel like, I said to my husband maybe a few months ago, I think that if she was still here in Canada, we would still have her with us. I don't know, but that's how I feel about it. But that being said, I decided that this year I wanted something different, and I wanted to do some different things. And it's hard. It's hard, okay? So it's been hard, but I have to push. One of the things is I have to do my exercise every day. I have to try and do it, right? Work out. That's one thing that I need to do, for my health, to keep healthy, to eat better, right? To read more. Not only that, but to pray more. Like I pray, right? I pray in the morning when I wake up, I pray. But I mean, like, pray, fervent prayer, that kind of prayer. I want to get back there. I was there once. I knew what it's like, and so, you know, I really want to get back there, and that's my desire for this year, and I want to be more active in my calling, right? That being said, that's why I do this, because I want to be consistent. Consistency. I want to be consistent in those areas, right? And so I think that in that we will see the end result. We will see the result of that, right? The work we put in, we'll see the result. We don't put any work in, we're not going to see anything, right? And so that being said, I just want to encourage you to, take that step, that baby step, if it's a baby step, one step at a time, and reach out, and like my daughter-in-law was sharing with me today. Kamshuka was sharing with me today. She said, read stuff, watch videos, look, like go and because usually I just kind of like scroll through real quick, right? But now I'm learning to like read the don't just like it because it's your friend, but really read it and take it in, right? It something really good and positive. Read it, close your eyes, take it in. Don't just read it and, oh, I like it, and go. That's what I want to be consistent in doing. It's really taking the time, right? And I see Love More here. Thank you for joining me, Love More. I'm going to sign off now, but I am grateful for you, my audience, that you will watch later, or tomorrow you'll share it with a friend, whatever. I am grateful for you. I am thankful for you. I pray a blessing over you, the blessings of the Lord that makes rich and has no sorrow to it. That's what I pray for you. And I pray for my mamas out there. You're holding it down with the school thing and the kids and keeping them safe. And oh my goodness, it's so much. But you know what? I'm praying for you. I'm praying that God would give you energy that you never thought, patience. Oh my goodness, right? Creativity, some creative ideas, right? um it's tough, it's tough. My children are all grown, and they're all adults, so I don't, oh my goodness, I don't know what I would do, but I would hope that I would have somebody on here kind of like pushing me and saying, go for it, girl, keep going, keep moving, keep believing, keep your spirits up. I listen, some people on here, they are like just filling me with joy and love and happiness, just because I decided that I don't want all that negative stuff, right? So I try to stay away from that, and I try to look at things in a different way, right? So that is my little talk for today, in looking back a little bit and encouraging myself to keep going, because I never thought that back then. I thought I missed it, but so far, I've had the breakfasts, I've had the conference. I didn't have the retreat yet, but that's coming one day soon. I'm hoping that that retreat could happen this year. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just saying, you know, don't give up on your dreams, because like somebody is waiting. Somebody is waiting to hear, somebody's waiting to see, somebody's waiting to experience that which God has put inside of you. So with that, I say God bless you, um, and have a great evening. Blessings when you go to worship tomorrow, whether you worship from home or you walk into a building. May God be with you, bless you, and have a great Sunday. Bye bye.